Okay, so we are in exercise 2D. I have discussed question number 1. So I will now move on to question number 2. Okay, so in question number 2, the main difference is again, always check when you are dealing with these kinds of questions, whether you are working with discrete data or continuous data. When you can see this type of data here, I think you can see here, okay, Z records the number of books in the collections of students in her year. The results are in the table below. So number of books, and you can see they have given the frequency. So 35 frequency 3 means you have the same number 35 repeated 3 times. Do you see? So 35 repeated 3 times. And then you have what next? 36 is repeated 17 times. Frequency means how many times that this particular number is being repeated. So 36 is repeated 17 times. Okay. And then likewise 37 is repeated 29 times. 38 is repeated 34 times. 39 is repeated 12 times. Do you follow me? Okay, so you can see why it is not practical to give this particular data set in the one by one, right? So it's not practical to write one by one, because you can see when the same number is repeated 29 times, 34 times, it's really long. Do you follow me? So that is why in question number 2, the frequency table is required. Okay, so this when there is a vast amount of data that is repeated, we definitely need to use a frequency table. So remember here, what are your main values? The X values are this 35, 36. Do you recall? That's really important that you know what are the X values here and what are the difference between the frequency values. Remember, your data points are 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39. Are you following me? These are the data values, and down here it shows how many times each of these data points are repeated. Okay, so they're asking you to find Q1, Q2, and Q3. Okay, first thing is to use Q1, Q2, Q3 equations. I gave you the rule. This is definitely, you can see it is, understand it is discrete data because you have single data points. So I have given you the rules for Q1, Q2, Q3. Okay, so Q1 is n over 4, n over 2, and 3 n over 4, and I have given you what to follow under each situation. Okay, so over here, can I know what is the n value? Now, before you use Q1 n over 4, we must know what is our n value. So what do we use here for our n value? So over here, what is the n value? N value in this case, you need to bear in mind, n is the total frequency. That is really important. Okay, you will not add the x values. Remember here, the top value represents the individual x values. So adding them makes no sense at all. Okay, 35 repeated thrice, 36 repeated 17 times, because n means how many data points are we using. So how many data points? 35 3 times. So there are 3 data points here. 36, the data value 36 is repeated 17 times, which means I have 17 data points here. So likewise, the frequency gives the data points that you are using. Add the frequencies to get the total number of data points that we are working with. So when you add 3, 17, 29, 34, and 12, I think our n value, total frequency value becomes 95, right? 3 plus 17 plus 29 plus 34 plus 12 is 95. Add it and see. Okay, so now we are ready to go for the, we are ready to find the quartiles. Let's find the quartile Q1. Q1 is n divided by 4. We remember the rule, n divided by 4. All right, so what is Q1? N is 95, right? 95 divided by 4. How much is 95 divided by 4?
20.
Yes, so you can see the answer is 23.75. So you can see it's definitely a decimal figure. So what is the rule? If the answer is a decimal, see it's given here. If the answer is a decimal, when you apply these rules for discrete data, if the answer is a decimal, you round the number up and pick the corresponding term. So you round the number up and pick the corresponding term. So 23.75 means the first quartile is which value? The first quartile is the 24th value. The first quartile is the 24th value. Okay, so now you have the task of locating the 24th value. How do I find the 24th value? So go to this table. Okay, so go to the table. So you can see 35 is the first 3 terms. First term, second term, third term. Right? 35 is the first term, second term, third term. Right? And then you can see the next data point starts at 36. 36 is repeated 17 times, right? So then 36 starts with the fourth term. Do you guys agree with me? And 36 will end in which term? Since 36 is repeated 17 times, you have 17 of 36s here, and there are 3 more before. So 17 plus the 3, isn't it? 17, 18, 19, 20. So this 36 should be the 20th term, the place where we end. I hope you guys are following me. Okay, and then we have next 37 repeating 29 times. So over here, after 36 is over, we have 37 repeating 29 times. Okay, we have 37 repeating 29 times. So this, the 37 where we start is the 21st term. And since this is repeating 29 times, all you have to do is add this 29 to this 20 terms. You know, you have 20 terms behind here. There are 20 terms behind here and you are adding 29 more terms, which means the place where you end 37 should be the 49th term. So basically, you don't need to go like this. You can basically get what? The cumulative frequency. Go for the cumulative frequency. How does the cumulative frequency work? You add the frequencies, isn't it? Add the frequencies. The first one is 3. Then you can see the next one, 3 plus 17 is 20. The next one, 3 plus 17 plus 29, which is 49. The next one, that 49 you add with 34, right? So which is 83. Then 83 you add it with 12 and you get 95. So you can see this is the, we can easily get this as cumulative frequency. You really don't need to write this data string. Okay, so then what we need here is I want the place where I'm finding the 24th value. So 24th value, I'll be finding it where? The 24th, you can see here, the data point 35 finishes in the third term. The data point 36 is finishing in the 20th term, which I explained over here. You can see here, the 36 data point finishes in the 20th term. And then you can see the next one, the data point 37 is at the 49. It's ending at the 49th term, which means from the 21st term to the 49th term, we have 37 entirely. So what does that tell us? It tells us that the 24th value is actually what? The 24th value or our lower quartile is actually 37. Okay, our 24th value, because we can see the 36 is ending at the 20th term. So 21st term, 22nd term until the 49th term, it's 37. So 24th value, 24th term will be 37. Okay, I hope you guys are getting what I'm saying. Okay, so next I'll be finding Q2. So what is the formula for Q2? The median. Q2 is the median. N divided by 2. So what's our N value? We found our N value is 95. 95 divided by 2 is? 95 divided by 2 is 47.5, right? So what is the rule? So what's the rule I gave you? If it's a decimal, if the answer is a decimal, round the number up. Round the number up and pick the corresponding term. So when you round the number up, 47.5, it becomes the 48th value, the 48th term. Okay, so now let's pick the 48th value. How do we pick it? I'm not going to go through this method now. Let's go in the easy way. Let's go to our table and pick the 48th value. Let's find the 48th value. So how do you find the 48th value? By looking at the cumulative frequency. Okay, look. So the cumulative frequency, the first 3 terms, did we reach the 48th term? No, we didn't pass 48. Okay, next one. The next cumulative 20. Did we pass 48? No, so that also doesn't work. Next one, the cumulative frequency is 49. So have we passed the 48th term? When you come 49, yes, you have passed the 48th term, which means what? Which means our median, our Q2 value is 37. Okay, so our Q2 value is 37 because it's the 48th term. So the first time you pass 48 in the cumulative frequencies when you reach 49. This is the first person to pass it. So therefore, the Q2 value is 37. So answer for Q2 is equal to 37. So Q3, the formula is 3n over 4, which is 3 times 95 divided by 4. So how much is 3 times 95 over 4? 3 times 95 divided by 4 is 71.25. Agreed? 71.25. Again, what's the requirement? So if the answer is a decimal, round the number up. Up doesn't mean that you round it to the closest figure. No, round the number up in the sense with the upward arrow, we take the number to the higher value. Always you take you round the number to the higher value. This is the rule that you're supposed to follow in the S1 book. Okay, so this is the rule that they tell you to follow. So you need to go with this particular method. Okay, so they ask you to round the number to the higher integer. So what is it? 71.25. Who is the higher integer? It is 72. So the 72nd value. You must get the 72nd value from the Q3 to get Q3. So let's go to the cumulative frequency. Go to cumulative frequency and try to find where you pass 72. Okay, so let's go through this. The first one, 3, did we pass 72? No. Next one, 20, we didn't pass 72. Next one is 49, we didn't pass 72, right? And the next one, the cumulative frequency is 83, which is the first person to pass 72, which means what? Which means what? So which means that your Q3, the upper quartile, the 72nd value is 38. Okay, so your answer is 38. So Q3 equals 38. Okay.